Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. So today we are going to talk about 2026. Now what I'm going to tell you is going to shock you because you have never witnessed this kind of magic before. You know what kind of magic I'm talking about? The kind that makes you shiver. It's called self-reflection. We need to fix the lighting, don't we? Okay, so the year is ending and another one is starting. And so before the year ends, I'm going to talk about all the things that made this year magical for me. Magical. Can I just, I can, but should I? I shouldn't. I'm going to talk about all the things that made this year magical. I want to make this into one short video, but that is clearly not happening. So every year I talk about all the things that went wrong that year and all the things that went amazingly. And that's how I set goals for the next year. And so today, I'm going to do the same, just with you guys. I'm just going to tell you guys, not with you guys, because this is a very individual process. You are just getting to witness it. So this year, let's start with talking about all the things that went wrong for me. Because why not? This year started off at a very horrible note, health-wise, because I was breaking out. My body was extremely inflamed, very inflamed. I was mentally losing it. And I made a bunch of manifestation boards last year, out of which almost all of the things came true, to be honest. Just not in the way that I needed it to. I did not get to travel to all the places that I had on the list. I wanted to go to the mountains, I wanted to go to the beach, and I did go see a bunch of stuff this year. I did travel, but I did not go to the places that were on my list. Now, other than that, on the manifestation board, I had a lot of friendships, a lot of communities, and while they came true, while they came into my life, they did not pan out the way that I wished them to or the way that I needed them to. I wanted a soul level, amazing, lovely connection, but life had other plans. Life turned those connections into lessons to understand what I actually need and what I actually believe I deserve. And that has honestly led me to a myriad of realizations. First of all, I was so reliant on my friends and friendships that I constantly failed to make individual decisions. And I realized that if I did not have someone to sound my thoughts to, or if I did not have someone to sound my ideas, my emotions, and whatever the hell I'm going through, it's hard for me to make decisions on my own. Which led to the kind of friendships that you would expect this would lead to, right? If you are so reliant on other people to sort of support you, to validate you, to reassure you, you take just their opinion seriously. Which means that at the end of the day, whatever they say or however they behave towards you dictates your entire persona, dictates your entire self-esteem. And that's what happened to me. My self-esteem was so dependent on my friendships that it was hard for me to just gain myself. And I realized much later that these friends, they were intelligent, they were smart, but they did not fulfill the aspect of me that really needed fulfilling, which is infinite reassurance, infinite validation, infinite care, and very particular kind of care. It's not just like, just expression, just words. I can't explain it with words, but there's a kind of motherly love that I needed, sort of. And it's not that I expected my friends to be mothers, but it's just that I kept giving out the love that I kind of wanted. So I behaved like their parents, in a way. And I kept giving out that kind of unconditional love. Be who you are, be whoever you are, be the kind of person that you are. I will support you, I care about you, I'm right beside you. But I did not feel that reciprocated. Now, I'm not blaming these people because that's just too much work. That's just too much work. That's too much energy directed in the wrong direction. Okay, wait, I'm back, hi. So, now, after I sort of went through these kinds of lessons, I understood that, hey, things may not be working out because I am not getting the space to just be myself. Every time I would share anything about my life with somebody that was close to me, I would end up experiencing a myriad of opinions, and those opinions would often just not be related to my life, the way I perceive things, the way I do things, and the way I view the world. And the more I spent time with these people, the more I kept losing myself, the more I kept realizing, hey, I don't agree, this is my life. I'm not getting to make decisions about my own life because somebody has to have, somebody wants to have a higher foot, somebody wants to have a larger opinion about my life. And that's when I realized, I don't need this energy in my life. I need a much more relaxed energy in my life. I need a lot of fun energy in my life, the kind of energy that makes me just want to dance, that makes me want to play around, that makes me want to experiment with different things. And so I went on this other journey of just spending time with myself, it's just me, myself tonight, until I die, for life. I don't need anything to keep me satisfied, keeping me alive. I don't need anything. So I had a blast spending time with myself after that. I hadn't had this kind of fun since I was maybe 3 or 4 when I used to just go out alone and do stupid shit alone. And whenever I used to hang out alone or with this childhood friend of mine, we just used to be so crazy. We used to be so impulsive. We used to make such crazy decisions every single day that it's like living our childhood the way it's supposed to be lived, like a child. And I completely tapped into that energy. The kind of creative stuff that we used to do, the kind of stories we used to make, the kind of things that we would instantly experiment with, the way we would just keep jumping from one place to another, I unleashed all of it. I went for all the things that I wanted to do. I learned how to do my nails. I learned how to crochet. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it because it was on my list for so long. I always wanted to be the girl who crochets. This one is crocheted. This is crocheted lace. And this is a project which is in process. It's gonna fall apart. Yeah, I can wear this as a scarf. And I can wear this around my headscarf. I can also wear this around my waist like this. But since it's not complete, it's not gonna fit right now. But then I can wear this over a skirt and it will just look so cute. It will look so cute. I can't wait for it to be finished. Yeah, so I am doing and experimenting with a lot of new different things, and my life is just becoming so much more exciting. And I never had the courage to start these things with the kind of friends I had at that time. And it's because I did not get the space to. I always felt I felt observed rather than seen. That kind of environment made me feel like doing anything right now would, or like just expressing the fact that I'm doing something just feels like And then as soon as I started keeping all my plans private, all the things that I'm doing private, until I've reached a certain point with it, I realized that, hey, doing this way is gonna change and improve my life a lot. Instead of constantly sharing everything with the people that I care about, instead of constantly keeping people up to date, instead of constantly, sort of looking for people to support you, keep it private. Keep it private until you've actually gotten to a point where you can finally express it. And it does not mean being an expert. Wait until you're an expert. Wait until you've created an entire enterprise. Wait until you have, built a whole world around that thing. Express it when you feel like it won't go back from here. Like there's no going back from here. Like you're not gonna give up on it because somebody says something about it or somebody has an opinion on it, because they no longer can have a negative opinion about it, because you've reached a point where you're secure in what you're doing. And once I realized and once I tapped into that, it has been a lot easier for me to engage in my creative ventures, which I was avoiding all along. My entire account here is about, perfection, overcoming perfection, growing out of perfection, or growing out of that need to always be good at everything. And then I realized that this can't keep going on. I can't keep focusing on things that make me feel horrible. What I need to focus on is the things that make me feel at home, that give me the safety that I need, that give me the time, that give me the patience, that give me the care that I'm looking for. And that's why I can now make things that I really want to make. Like, check this out. I wouldn't have been able to do this if I showed people my prototypes or things that I was beginning to do. Broken things, torn apart things. I'm going to show you a bunch of nails that I made initially and the ones that I made later. Look at this. If I showed this one to someone, their first reaction would be, you wasted a lot of money and you wasted a lot of time. And then check this one out. This is something that I made later, once I gained some confidence. Now if I show this to someone, they'd be like, start a business. So here's the thing. You just keep things to yourself. Don't tell anyone. You don't know. Don't tell it to anyone, especially who hasn't been through these phases. Someone who hasn't seen themselves through these kinds of phases. Someone who is not even interested in taking themselves through these kinds of phases, because they're just not going to understand and they're going to invalidate you further. So if you want to be sane, and if you want to be creative, and if you want to get into that flow state, might as well shut the hell up. Might as well don't tell anyone anything until you feel secure in what you're doing. Because the kind of security that comes from within, no external reassurance can ever match. And your world is a lot bigger than anybody outside of you can ever perceive. And that applies to everyone, because everyone's world is different, everyone's perspective on life is different, everyone's goals are different, and everyone's way of living life is different. So what works for you might never work for another person, and what works for them might never work for you. And well, that's it. My year has been probably very shitty, but it's also been so awfully fulfilling. I brought down my awards. If you can see on the table over there, a lot of my awards, and I look at them every day now, because I lack self-esteem so much, and I would always discredit all my achievements. So looking at my awards is amazing. I found a poster that some of my friends had made for me, and I've been looking at it constantly. I designed my wall. I made my space a lot more friendly to my taste, and now this feels like my room. Now this feels like my home, and I'm at home where I feel safe, and I feel safe in spaces that make me want to create even more. So I really upgraded my health. I've been working really hard on my health, the way I talked about in the beginning, and I realized, I did not realize, I finally accepted that I have chronic pain and related issues, which have been really bad, and I've been working on them. And yeah, I have been working on them. Things are getting better. I have been in lesser pain for the last few days, but that's because of muscle relaxants, so I'm not going to give it full credit until those muscle relaxants are over. But yeah, it's just been a lot different, those answers. As women, we are often just told to ignore the pain, or just thought that pain is a part of life, but it's not. If you have chronic pain and related issues, go get it checked. Don't sit with it, don't tolerate it. Go get it checked. You deserve better. Just because you're a woman does not mean that you should be in pain. Okay? Don't be in pain. Go get it checked. So I cut my own hair instead of waiting on a hairstylist to get it right. Just look at it. I can't believe I did it. Look at these layers. Look at perfection. Absolute perfection. I look exactly the way that I wanted to for the longest time. I look short hair, long hair. And that's it, folks. Thanks for listening, and you have a great day. And I hope you discover parts of yourself you've never discovered before in 2026. And I hope that you also learned a lot out of them the way I did. And all the best. Happy New Year. And I love you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.